is the debate about the GOAT. Who's the greatest of all time? So it's rare that I get a chance to sit down with one of the guys who's debated about to talk about the conversation of that term, the GOAT.
The whole GOAT term is never going to be something that I ever will get high or low about. It just doesn't exist with me. I never played against Oscar Robert or Jerry West. Would have loved to. Absolutely loved to. Just as competitive as I am. And I actually learned from them, and we, paved the road to the Kobes and the LeBrons, right? And to me, it's the beauty of the game of basketball that a player, after a previous player, has evolved the game further. Mm-hmm. But don't then, in essence, this is the way I look at it, don't then now use that against the player that actually taught you the game or that you learned from. Yeah, and that's why I have a tough time. And, look, I would love to have played against LeBron and, Kobe in my prime. I would love to have played, against those guys. But we'll never be able to know that. Part of the marketing, part of the hype, part of the things that tries to elevate one generation above the other, right. I think it creates animosity. I have no animosity against today's players, but you do have certain players that do have animosity because of the forgottenness of what their contribution has been to the game of basketball. It is what it is. It is a empty comparison. It's absolutely never find that the true answer to that question.
It's a circular conversation.
It's just going to keep
You're
going.
never going to get
and
a right
I understand.
Answer. But it's great to talk about.
100% to talk about and envision. Look, I think LeBron has had an unbelievable career, and I admire him for what he's done. And Kobe, as well as KD, and all these guys who have played in this era. I think they've elevated the game of basketball tremendously. I just don't agree when you start, trying to put one above the other. It doesn't work. We'll never know. It creates more of a problem from, not for me. I've never given it credence. But, for other players who look for their existence within the generation of basketball. And we should always honor that. We should always preserve that. We should always, reward that they paved the road for a lot of generations after that. And by doing that, you somewhat, Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell had 11 championships. Yeah. How do you just push them in the corner and say, we ain't gonna think about you. We forgot about you. That to me is where I get lost.
This is why I love Michael Jordan. And yes, Michael Jordan was before my time. But never once has he ever called himself the GOAT. He chose to show respect to the legends that came before him, and the Jerry West of the world, the Oscar Robinsons. He showed respect to players in his era or a little bit before, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I know Bill Russell was before his era. Showing love to Bill Russell. He showed love to the next generation of LeBrons and Kobe Bryants. And to Kobe Bryant's credit, he said, don't take shots at the generation that came before you. And what did Kobe said? He said, don't ever talk about Michael like that. He said, you want to say I could beat him one-on-one? That's nonsense. Everything I got was from him. I don't have 5 championships without his foundation. Meanwhile, you have LeBron James. You have LeBron James who will take any chance he can get to declare himself the GOAT. Michael Jordan never declared himself the GOAT, never called himself the greatest. It was the media, it was the fans. But you see what LeBron James does. He has Clutch Media. And what does Clutch Media do? They pay all these guys on ESPN or Fox, like Nick Wright. Nick Wright had Kevin Durant ahead of LeBron James, let alone Kobe Bryant, while LeBron James had 2 championships and Kevin Durant had 0. It wasn't until those paychecks came in where he changed his tone. One player is trying to do everything to say he's the GOAT. Meanwhile, the other guy will never ever say he's the GOAT, and that's why he is the GOAT.